guys, it's Ray here, and welcome to a very highly requested video, my art studio slash art supply tour. This video truly means a lot to me. I'm very excited for today's video. Back in 2016, I did a video where I showed my art supplies. You know, it was stuff from Dollar Tree and art supplies that the college was kind enough to let me have in old hand-me-down beat up boxes that my mom gave me. And even back then, I was really happy with the art supplies that I had. I mean, at one point in the video, I literally said,
and you guys know, I'm not bragging or anything, it's just what I have.
Fast forward from 2016 to 2021, I am beyond lucky to have not one, but two dedicated studios, tons of art supplies that I have been collecting for years and years. And I just want to say that absolutely none of this would be possible without you. Whether you've watched every single video that I've ever made, or maybe this is your first time ever watching my channel, thank you for watching. Zach helped me film this video. He's not very comfortable with the camera yet, so it might be a little shaky at times. But regardless, I am very excited for this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and starting with my very first studio, the room that we are in now, studio number 1. Now, in this room, I spent a mass majority of my time. This is where I edit my videos, plan everything. I sit and think, I have my morning coffee, film my intros. I mean, I do absolutely everything in this room. There is a lot to go over, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Starting with these two knockoff IKEA drawers that I've had for a few years now. As you're about to see, I am absolutely insane when it comes to organizing. Like, everything has to be perfect. Starting off with drawer number 1, this one is labeled my extra drawer. Boom. I love how I said everything has to be organized and then I open up like the least organized drawer in existence. This drawer contains all of my extra art supplies that are completely new, brand new. I don't have a place for them and I don't want to open them just yet. So for example, we have pencils, brand new mica palette, brand new ohuhus that I've never gotten the chance to open before. So yeah, you can kind of pick up the vibe on this drawer. It's brand new things that have yet to be opened and just don't have a place in my studio yet. Pow. This brings us to drawer number 2. This is where I keep all of my inks. Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I say organized, this is what I'm talking about. In this drawer, we have all of my white highlighter pens. We have all of my pure black India inks. We have all of my fine liners here, so many different brands, pretty much every size you can think of. We have all of my Sharpies, which I actually bought these for a video a long time ago, and then I just never did the video, and now I just have a bunch of Sharpies. Next drawer, I have my watercolors. Oh my God. The way this drawer is organized, it brings me so much serotonin. And in this drawer, I have the entire collection of Artiza's paints. I have my professional Winsor & Newton watercolor grade. I have my premium Master's Touch watercolor tubes. And if I had to pick one singular watercolor out of this whole entire drawer, it looks really ugly, the packaging, and that's just because I've had it for so long, but oh my God. This watercolor is called Payne's Gray, and whenever you paint with this instead of a black color, it leaves all of your dark shadows this deep, vibrant blue, and oh my God, it just looks absolutely incredible with drawings. It was actually my college professor a long time ago who got me hooked on this. Shout out to you, Mick. Next up, we have my weird / rare art supply drawer. If you've been watching my channel for a while, there's a very high chance that you recognize some of the art supplies in this drawer. 100-year-old watercolor, Supreme pencil, the most watched video on my channel, the Gucci pen video, watercolor watch, the markers, and the letter that Jazza sent me from the Jazzy Art Box collection. My 100-year-old watercolor palette, another fan favorite of my channel. We have the blackest paint in existence. I absolutely love novelty, weird, strange art supplies, and I think they're so awesome. I just can't let them go, you know? Next, we're gonna go to my charcoal drawer. In this drawer, I have my pastels, all of my charcoal pencils, my basket of tortillons. I go through these things. I go through these things like, what's something that you go through a lot? Toilet paper? I don't know if that's gross. I don't know. And I also keep my black and white colored pencils in here. And the reason that I use white colored pencils with my charcoal drawing is because white charcoal pencils just aren't intense enough, I guess. With my drawings, I want my shadows and highlights to be bam, like in your face. And you just can't get those super white highlights with a white charcoal pencil, you know? So yeah, that's my little hack for you guys, is use a white colored pencil for charcoal. And for these last two drawers, I have my office supplies, which surprisingly, I actually come to this drawer a lot. And I have my newly added Crayola drawer. In this drawer, I have my crayons, watercolor palette, Crayola colored pencils. Everything Crayola is in this drawer. In this drawer, I have, you can't see me, I have all my watercolor palettes in here. I have the famous jelly gouaches that pretty much every single art YouTuber has reviewed. I have my oldest watercolor palette, which I've had since 2011, and it's broken, it's beat up, but I absolutely refuse to throw this away.
I will take this to the grave with me.
This drawer contains refills of my most used art supplies. I'm always needing sketch pencils, white Prismacolor colored pencils. If you want to know how artists on Instagram blend their colored pencils, this is how. If you come down here, I have all of my watercolor accessory stuff. Next up, I have my sets, pens, mica pigment set, Pablo Picasso's oil pastels. I mean, he himself didn't actually use this specific kind, but Pablo Picasso used this specific brand. And to complete this drawer, I have my pencil bags. Like, I like the option that I can just dump everything in a bag, go to Starbucks, and unpack and start drawing. Would I ever do it? Probably not, but I like the idea of it. Can you get a zoom in of Tim Curry, please? He's like my whole entire life. So yeah, this wall is just like my poster decorative wall. And if you come over to this side of the wall, we have something that I am so proud of, and that is my plants that I've managed to keep alive somehow. I never get to show off my plants to anybody, and the fact that I'm able to keep this alive, I'm gonna show them off right now. Also, something very cool in my studio that I think is a very underrated decoration. I have a disco ball and a light refracting crystal. Whenever the sunlight hits it just right during sunset, it reflects into the room and it just gives it this really cool, sparkly, rainbowy, dotty kind of look.
Oh, good job.
In this corner of the room, we have my PC set up as well as my famous bunny chair. I also keep my iPad Pro here as well as my Apple Pencil. And I know it doesn't look like much now, but at night when this whole entire room is illuminated, girl, it looks absolutely stunning at night. In this corner of my room, I have another sitting area where I come and just literally sit sometimes. I don't know if that's normal, but I like to literally just sit here and think. And I have to have a pillow. It's like a defense mechanism. Anytime I sit down, I like to have a pillow so I can go like this and just sit. This is the area where I do all of my intros. And this brings me to my, I guess, like work closet. And this closet stores all of my sketchbooks. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I tend to hoard sketchbooks forever. I have gray toned, mixed media, watercolor, Artiza, ones that are pure black. I even have some from the dollar store. If you look back here, I have even more sketchbooks. These are all of my shorter, smaller ones. And I also keep my large to mid-sized brushes located in this closet as well. And back here, I have literally the most game-changing thing of all time. I've wanted one of these since I was a little kid. And that's a label maker. I love my label maker. I love, love, love labeling things. So now that you've seen studio number 1, this takes us to studio numero 2. And this studio is pretty much the total opposite of my first studio. Well, my last one is like hyper feminine, super bright, colorful, bright pastel pink. This one is much more toned down, relaxed, calming, cool, even a little bit like dark at some points. So this room is, I would say, totally opposite of my first room. So come on in. This room is solely dedicated to filming my main channel desk videos. Like every time you've seen me do an unboxing, it's in this room. I have my chair where I sit down. It's already covered totally in paint. And the desk, I don't even bother cleaning it. At this point, I've spilled so much paint that every single time I film a new video, I just go over it with a new coat of paint. So at this point, there's probably like hundreds of layers of paint on this poor little desk. And then of course we have Bowie's bed. She has to have a bed in literally every single room in my house so she can be comfortable everywhere she goes. Everywhere she goes. And you're probably wondering why there is a drawer missing. Whenever I film, I have a lot of trash, like when I do unboxing. And instead of having to stop the video, move all the lights around, pull out of my chair, walk to the trash can every single time, I now take the easy route and just shove it in here. Big brain. And we're gonna come over to this side of the room. And I'm sure you saw in the B-roll that I had a plant up here in the corner. Yesterday when I was eating my lunch, I heard like a loud clunk. And my plant actually fell from the ceiling onto my trash can. And now I have a giant dent on my trash can. But it was aesthetic at one point, I promise. And also on this wall, I have my famous marker tower. I would say this is probably only like a third of the markers that I actually own. Get a good zoom in on Larry. Looks so cool with my pots. Yeah. And if you saw my last video where I used every single paint that I own, you already know what's in this drawer. This is my paint collection. So here I have my acrylics that I use most often, like my very large tubes acrylic. Down here I have my temper paints, my very expensive Culture Hustle paints. I bought the whole entire set. Over here I have my oil. I have my oil paint collection. I have my special historical paints from Ryan, my paint dealer. I have two very high-end brands that they're so high-end I can't even pronounce the names. I have my big tubes of oil paint, like the neons that I really love to use, as well as like whites and browns and just like frequently used oil paints. I would say that this drawer alone is probably about $400 worth of oil paint. So yeah, this is like my special fancy drawer that we don't touch. Next up I have my student grade and somewhat professional Winsor & Newton oil paints. I have my small oil paints. And down here to finish up my paint collection, we have probably one of the most like chef-kissed, well-organized drawers that you will ever see. Get a good look at this. It is so satisfying, this drawer. And honestly, like a lot of this paint is kind of like craft paint, so it's not stuff that I would normally use, but I'm just like in love with how this drawer looks, so I'm just gonna keep it here pristine forever. So over here I have my Prismacolors Faber-Castell Polychromos. For some reason I have a crazy art. And my all-time favorite art supply, probably ever, Caran d'Ache colored pencils. Now I realize that these are very pricey, but oh my god, are they the best colored pencil you will ever find. Then this takes us to my closet, my second closet. I have the rest of my markers. I have some more pencils because I'm always using pencils. Random tools, my Pentax Polaroid. I was gonna take a picture, but it's long dead. And over here I have my oil painting station. Like all the extra fancy stuff that is required with oil painting, I have it all set up perfectly to go whenever I need it. Down here I have all my organizational stuff because I really enjoy being organized. I have a fan that you can attach to the window, so whenever I'm oil painting, it'll take out the fumes from inside and push them outside. It's an absolute game changer for anybody who's doing oil painting. And then like I have this random bug that I found a long time ago preserved in alcohol. He was already dead when I found him, by the way.
Fig beetle.
Yeah, a fig beetle? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's really cool. He's like iridescent. And now I'm gonna show you the best part of this whole room. Actually, you stay there, I'll be right back. This room is connected directly to a bathroom. So yeah, anytime I spill anything or I need quick cleanup, I quickly run in here. I open the door with my elbow and then I quickly wash my hands, and it's been a game changer. And yeah, with that being said, I think that is actually it, guys. Again, I would be absolutely nowhere without you guys, so thank you so much again for watching. If you haven't subscribed with notifications, please be sure to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed my studio. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys next video. Bye.